And welcome into this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup powered by Rock and Refuel. That's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen. Every week we bring you the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting and do so year-round. Big news this past week, Jason, the first commitment in quite some time. Nick Carmen, who had so many offers from just spring practice all the way up until this season, announces where he'll be playing at the next level.
Yeah, the big offensive tackle from Mountain Point committed to the University of Utah. Last spring, he had nothing. He had no offers. When he committed to Utah, he had 18 scholarship offers, which is absolutely ridiculous. Last year, he played for Mountain Point at 225 pounds, now weighs upwards of 270 pounds, has just blossomed and turned into a great football player. Took an unofficial visit out to Utah 2 weeks ago and fell in love with it. His parents grew up in Utah, went to Utah State, but he liked the staff, and he's going to join Horizon offensive lineman Jake Grant, also who has also committed to Utah.
Yeah, two of the top offensive tackles in the state of Arizona. And what a week for Utah. Not only do they get Carmen, they also get a big win over UCLA. So it's a good week to be a Ute. Let's get into some of the offers right now, Jason. And his partner, Carmen's partner, on the opposite side of the line, Davis Parrott, picked up another offer.
Yeah, just going to be the first, not the first, but he has 8 now. He's going to keep getting more. 8 offers now for Parrott. Was offered by Indiana, has Cal, has Boise State, and a handful of other schools. He's just now coming into his own as a player. He's 6'6", 270 pounds, and going to get more offers soon. 2
of the top underclassmen in the state picked up offers in the last week, starting with Chase Lucas. Coming off a big win over Hamilton, he had a great game, and he picks up an offer.
Yeah, he's a national top 100 type player, was offered by Cal. And then you look at the other, a sophomore, Caden Lyles from Saguaro. He just keeps racking in those offers. He was offered by the University of Washington, which makes 12 offers for him.
So that's the latest in the recruitment world. Now let's get into what's been going on the field. In our recruiting roundup player of the week this week, a quarterback, Bryce Perkins, absolutely dominant, maybe the best performance I've seen out of him in 2 years against Hamilton.
Yeah, the Chandler quarterback had 400 yards passing and 6 touchdowns, and we know he's a dual threat type of athlete. Had 1 touchdown on the ground in that big win, Chandler over Hamilton.
Yeah. So congrats to Bryce Perkins and the Chandler Wolves. A dominant, huge victory over the Hamilton Huskies, one of the biggest wins in that program ever. Now let's get into the breakout prospects. I'll go first. I caught Moon Valley's practice last week. Wasn't at their game, but I was impressed with their starting quarterback, Shannon Burton, a dual threat player, has 9 total touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, including 4 last week against Phoenix Christian. And this kid is a stud. He is fast, he is athletic, and he can take a hit too. Coach Jacobs was telling me that there's been times where he's hit the ground, he's been slow to get up, and then he pops back up as if nothing happens. He's a warrior and a large reason for the success of the Rockets so far this season.
So because of all of the big school games mostly being played on Thursday last week, I was able to go watch some small school football on Friday. I watched Estrella Foothills at North Point Prep, and the guy that I came away impressed with was senior do-it-all player Brandon Leon for Estrella Foothills. Just in the first few minutes of the game, he had a receiving touchdown, an interception, and a punt return touchdown. Now, Coach Early at Estrella Foothills said he's getting lightly recruited right now. No one's really made that drive out there, but he's a guy that could maybe play at the FCS or Division II level. He's 5'8", 185 pounds, and is very versatile.
So that's Brandon Leon. A great week last week. Got his first offer from ACU last week, and looks like more is going to come. Now, Jason, let's talk about Week 7. Can't believe it's Week 7 already. The season is just flying by. The game that I'm going to talk about that I have my eye on this week, Verrado at Desert Edge. This is a huge litmus test for the Verrado Vipers, who are still undefeated. Another one of the great stories in Arizona high school football this season. They're led by their quarterback, Lathan Lax, 10 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions this season, and Ross Dietz, their running back, 15 total touchdowns, whether it's rushing or receiving. He's been great. Teheran Thomas is doing very well, taking over a quarterback this year for Desert Edge, but I love their running back, just a sophomore, Roshan Johnson, going to be one of the elite running back prospects in the state when all is said and done for his high school career.
Now, the game I'll spotlight is Desert Ridge and Skyline. And Skyline is one of those teams still undefeated, a sleeper team at the beginning of the year, and a breakout performance so far. If you like rushing attacks, this game is the one to be at. So you look at Dylan Gillette and Amari Keys. Those are the guys for Skyline. And then Desert Ridge has a 3-headed monster with Taryn Morrison, who is now back, Justin Irby, and Al Cathcock. This game could be over by 8:30, the way the clock is going to run with this running attacks.
Should be fun to watch it all play out. We'll see if Skyline and Verrado can continue their undefeated seasons. That's it for this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel. For Jason Jewell, I'm Jared Cohen. This has been the Recruiting Roundup on Sports360AZ.com.